Let's talk ONYX STORM while I get ready. And I made some notes. What I noticed first is that it was quite action-packed from the very beginning. There was a thrill and excitement from the get-go. Pretty nice just to jump straight into it instead of waiting for the plot to begin. And it makes sense considering the situation that was left from the second book. Then I also felt quite quickly that the political play and political conflicts I feel are much better. They make much more sense and they work much better in this book. Then I also like with all the action, Violet gets to use her abilities from the beginning. It makes sense for the first books to be kind of her developing her abilities, and of course she still has to get better with them. It's nice to see other people's sickness and abilities and strength get use it in action more. Also use sickness in action that's just not against one another. I always thought the side of it where there was so much violence in between cadets in this school felt a bit off. Why did so many people have to die? It didn't make that much sense to me. I was into the dangerous activities they are getting themselves into, that some people might pass due to accidents. People just being violent against one another in the way they are. I found that to be a bit too much. So I just think that has been solved a bit more in this book. It's not as bad. It makes more sense because now they are in a real war and they have a common enemy and all that. People are not like unnecessarily violent against one another. We have greater things to talk about. I don't think I said that. As you can see, I'm about 3/3 of the way through. I'm almost done with it. And I definitely think there's going to happen a lot in this last quarter. But I just think that with the other books, everything is gonna go to shit at this point. I guess that's just how you write fantasy, isn't it? Well, I also find with what I have read so far that a lot of the sequences or battles or mysteries, they are a bit rushed sometimes. It goes by too fast. The thing is, I had the completely opposite feeling with Iron Flame. I thought it was way too slow. Plot didn't move quite fast enough. I thought it was just being dragged out. And with this one, it's kind of more the opposite. There are introduced so many new characters. The world is being expanded so much more, which is lovely. Learned how she puts thought into making different cultures. I would have loved to see it more. From the second book going a bit too slow and the plot not progressing to having the third book where it progresses a lot and a lot of things happen. It happens very quickly. It's kind of funny. I think maybe we should find the middle ground, but I hope maybe some of the new things she's introduced in this first book is something we will see more in the coming books. One thing I noticed, I also found both in Fourth Wing and Iron Flame, it's more of a writing style. It's definitely not an uncommon thing. It's just that many of the characters communicate very similarly. I just find that sometimes the characters don't stand out too much by themselves.